name is D'Lo Jordan, and this is VENUM. Welcome to The Void. This is episode 35, and we are not live. Check the video description below this video. There you will find links to my full network. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Click that bell to enable notifications. It's the only way to be notified when a new video is uploaded, right? So, today, VENUM, episode 35, we're talking NXT 2.0. NXT 2.0. So I decided I'm going to go with NXT 2.0 for NXT 2.0. And 2.0 is going to be reserved for the fucking tag team on AEW that hangs out with Bad Body Garcia. They're 2.0 now. NXT is just going to be its regular name. So the big thing that happened on NXT 2.0, the big thing that happened for me was the debut of Wendy Choo. Wendy Choo made her in-ring debut. She has arrived, baby, and somebody woke a sleeping giant. So we're going to talk about that partway through this thing. There was a 6-woman tag match that Wendy Choo slept through and then got in the ring and showed us a little bit of something. So NXT 2.0 from January 11th, 2022. The first thing we saw when the show went on air was a video recap package from New Year's Evil, the special TV event from last week. So New Year's Evil, specifically the world title match between 2Ks and Tommaso Ciampa, where 2Ks, aka Braun Breaker, won the NXT Heavyweight Championship. So after that, we cut live to the arena, down south slang, rolling with these hustlers, trying to get rid of all you haters and you busters. Down south slang. My beloved entrance theme, I guess theme song was back. That track by Wale, Down South. That was bumping. The announcers acknowledged the new world champion, and then they pitched to the ring. They pitched it over to the ring announcer, Samantha Irvin. Who? They cut to a shot of this woman in the ring, and it's like, well, she's obviously new. Never seen her before in my life. Been watching this program. So old Samantha, she introduced the new NXT World Heavyweight Champion, 2Ks. His music plays and 2Ks comes out. Looking all proud, he gets in the ring. By the time 2Ks made it to the ring, Samantha had vanished. She were gone. I mean, she was fucking gone. My planet needs me. And she took off. The crowd in the building did that fucking stereotypical "you deserve it" chant, which is so played out and just so stupid. It just seems rather patronizing. So 2Ks magically spawns a microphone and he starts talking. So he basically, he acknowledged Tommaso Ciampa, said Ciampa gave him the test of his life or whatever, and he overcome it because of whatever, and then he kind of wrapped up by just kind of setting the challenge out to the locker room. Whoever's next to step up, just know that when you're training, I've already trained, and when you're studying tape, I've already studied tape. And when you leave early, I'm staying late. And he said, all this because I'm the freaking NXT Heavyweight Champion. Then his music starts playing, and 2Ks went to leave, but Legado del Fantasma, their music and production starts going off, and they came out. So 2Ks kind of had this two ships passing in the night kind of moment, more specifically with Santos Escobar, it seemed like. And they kind of eyed up each other. 2Ks kept walking, and Legado came down to the ring. So next out was Zion Quinn. So this is going to be a fucking match to determine who Elektra Lopez leaves with. So this is off rip. This is fucking nonsense. So this match got started, and Zion Quinn kind of jump started things. He had landed a strike before the bell even rang, and then the match got underway. Elektra Lopez was shown watching from up somewhere. Was she in the crow's nest, or she's looking down on the action? So she's just up somewhere. If it's up, then it's up, then it's up, then it's stuck. So she was just up somewhere. At one point, Santos Escobar, this was closer to the end, Santos Escobar had Zion Quinn on his shoulders in a fireman's carry position. They were on the outside, on the ringside floor. He gets Zion Quinn up on his shoulders, and it looked like he was maybe going to run Zion Quinn into the ring post or something. But, boom, Elektra Lopez was there out of nowhere, and she was standing in the way. She was blocking whatever he was trying to do. So that distracted Santos Escobar, because it's like, what the fuck's she doing? And Zion Quinn turned around. He got the upper hand, and eventually rolled Escobar back in the ring. So Quinn's still on the outside. Escobar's in the ring. And then Elektra Lopez just started rubbing on Quinn's chest and kind of looked him in the eye and gave him the nod. And Zion Quinn turns around to get back in the ring. And that's when Elektra Lopez fucking football kicks him in the nuts. So fucking, like, this whole thing. What's going on? Does she like him? Does she not? Is there some budding relationship? Obviously not now. She's fucking football kicking people in the nuts. So that ought to be done and over with. If Zion Quinn's still trying to get with her after that, he's the fucking idiot. So she kicks him in the nuts. The ref was distracted with old Santos Escobar in the ring, and another member of Legado rolled Zion Quinn back in. Just real quick, I just realized that half of Legado, I don't know who they are. There's two members that I have no fucking clue who they are. I know Santos Escobar. I know Elektra Lopez. The other two guys are just, I don't know who they are. I don't think I've ever been introduced to. I've been watching this program for a month now. So, one of the members of Legado rolls Quinn in, and then Santos Escobar delivered a Michinoku driver. 1, 2, 3, he wins. So Santos Escobar and Legado, they get to leave with Elektra Lopez, which obviously that was the plan all along, because she football kicked him in the nuts. So why did she even lull Zion Quinn into this false sense of, oh, we got mutual attraction? I don't know what the fuck any of this was, but didn't make very much sense. It's just like, what was all this about? After that, we cut to a direct-to-camera interview with Tony D'Angelo. He talked up the match with Pete Dunne. It's going to be Pete Dunne versus Tony D'Angelo. It's going to be Pete Dunne versus Tony D'Angelo in a crowbar on a pole match. What? These, oh my god, who comes up with this fucking shit? A crowbar on a pole match. So that's gonna be complete fucking nonsense. So after that, we're back in the arena. The announcers pitched to and did a voiceover for a video recap of Grayson Wallaby getting involved in AJ Styles' match from this past Monday Night Raw. So Styles was having a match with somebody, and Grayson Waller ran in to force a disqualification. I don't know. Don't watch Monday Night Raw, and I didn't really pay attention to this video recap. So after that, we cut to a hype package. So a hype package came up next for Cameron Grimes. There was a bunch of B-roll, and Cameron Grimes did a voiceover. And then there was this graphic at the end that said Cameron Grimes would be in action tonight. So, cool. After that, there was this Mandy Rose vignette type shoot where she was doing an outdoor photo shoot, poolside somewhere, and she also did a voiceover, talking about how she defended her belt and she's what everybody's tuning in to see, and all this stuff. I don't know what was going on here. So after that, the camera cuts. We're back in the arena. The camera is just shooting some guy standing on the middle rope in one of the corners on the hard camera side. And a lower third identified him as Damon Kemp. First of all, who? Here's another person that just pulling out of nowhere. Damon Kemp. Then his music cuts and Cameron Grimes' music starts playing. Cameron Grimes made his entrance. He's still got the fucking mismatched kick pads and knee pads. They're a different consistency of black. And it's just OCD crazy. OCD crazy. Them kick pads and knee pads got me feeling OCD crazy. So Grimes gets in the ring and the match gets underway, right? So this is basically Cameron Grimes versus some person we've never fucking heard of. Malcolm Bivens of Diamond Mine was shown watching from the top of the entrance ramp for reasons. The fuck is he out here for? I think they said on commentary he might have been scouting for Diamond Mine. I don't know. Not sure what. Is he trying to fucking recruit? What was his name? Damon, whatever the fuck. If so, he's got bad taste. So Cameron Grimes won this thing. Short match. Not much happened. Grimes won with a weird looking, like the guy's down on one knee, and Cameron Grimes just came in and did like a weird looking jumping stomp to the guy's face and chest, and just the cave-in, I think they called it. So he just jumps in the air and like just stomps the guy down into the mat. The stomp! Like when fucking Seth Rollins does his finishing move. The stomp! Like, that's, what the fuck? Can that move get a name? So Grimes won. After that, we're shown Joe Gacy and Harland, and they were just standing there in just pitch blackness. I think they're trying to steal my gimmick. They were standing in a void. So they're just in a void. Joe Gacy thanked the championship committee in air quotes because it's not a real thing. There's no such committee that exists. So he thanked the championship committee for the opportunity to compete for a chance to gain entry into the Dusty Classic Tag Tournament, right? Then Joe Gacy said some weird shit. He mentioned Idris Enofe and Malik Blade, who I guess are their opponents tonight. He said, when they're in the ring, it'll be a safe space or whatever the fuck. It's like, this guy Gacy, Joe Gacy, he just says words, doesn't he? He just says words, and that's the full extent of what he's got going on. He says words. Next, they played a video recap package of Von Wagner attacking fucking independent professional wrestlers that were planted in the crowd from last week. And after the video, Vic Joseph said on commentary, Von Wagner has been fined and suspended. And I'm like, damn it, he only got suspended. He wasn't fired. They didn't release him and wish him well in his future endeavors. Oh, well. So we go from that. We cut to a shot of the ring. And Idris Enofe and Malik Blade were just already in the ring. They got a lower third to identify him. They also flew in a little box, a pre-taped interview from earlier in the day where they kind of acknowledged that everyone's saying, we're not a real tag team, which they're not. And, we don't stand a chance against Joe Gacy and Harlan, which they don't. Then they say, but let's win this match and the whole tournament, and let's shock the world. I got news for you, boys. That ain't happening at all. At all. That's not happening. I like the optimism, but it's a no for me, dog. So Harland and Gacy came out next, right? It's fixing to be that tag team Dusty qualifier or whatever the fuck this match is. Gacy looking like a discount fucking preacher that just happens to have fucking athletic wrist tape on. And Harlan looked like a serial killer. So this match started off with Idris Enofe and Joe Gacy. And I couldn't help but notice old big creepy fucking Harlan standing in the background, standing on the fucking apron, holding the tag rope. He's just standing there looking creepy, but he's got the tag rope in his hands down by his side, and he's just with his head slightly tilted down, trying to look upward with his eyes and just being fucking creepy. These guys look like they hang out with Sean Spears. So the match is underway. Joe Gacy looks like a slightly younger Kevin Owens. You ever notice that? At one point, Malik Blade was in the ring. He tagged in Idris Enofe. And they attempted to do a sequence of offense, but they just got lost and just fucked it up for what felt like an eternity. It was just bizarre looking. They just could not figure out what the fuck they were trying to do. It was weird. It was less weird, more so just embarrassing. It just looked like, what the fuck was any of that supposed to be? So they finally got to the end of this just fucking botched sequence, and Malik Blade did the last move, which was like a neck breaker. As soon as he hit that and scooted out the ring, Vic Joseph immediately said on commentary, "Look at that tag team continuity." Oh yeah? That's what you call that? Tag team continuity? That was the opposite of tag team. That was two fucking guys pulled off the street and like they didn't even practice this. They were just like trying to do something and the other guy just did not know what the other guy was trying to do. It just looked awfulness. Just awfulness. Harlan tagged in and just started wrecking shit. Harlan eventually tags in and just starts wrecking. He starts kicking so much ass that the referee disqualified him. He just kept hitting the guy in the corner, beating him down, and the ref counted to 5, and they got disqualified. So Malik Blade and Idris Enofe won via disqualification. After they lost, Harlan just backed the referee up into the corner. Not physically, he didn't touch him. He just walked up on him. The ref's in the corner shouting the whole time, "I was just doing my job. I was just doing my job. You didn't get him out of the corner till at a count of 5. I was just doing my job." And Joe Gacy intervenes. And I'm confused. Does Harlan, does he understand the rules or not? Right? At the beginning of this match, Harlan was standing over there holding the tag rope like a good little psychopathic killer. Then he tags in and just forgets how disqualifications works. So I don't know what's going on here. If I would have bet money on the winners of this match, I would have lost the boat. So fucking Idris Enofe and Malik Blade have qualified to enter the Dusty Classic Tag Team Tournament, and I didn't see that coming. Good for them. After that, we go to a break. When we come back, the announcers are explaining the rules of a crowbar on a pole match, which is ridiculous. Just the concept of it is like, why is this happening? So Tony D'Angelo was out first. Tony D'Angelo! He was followed by Pete Dunne. The match got underway. Immediately, Tony D'Angelo faked like he was going immediately for the crowbar, and Pete Dunne tried to intervene, but then Tony D'Angelo changed directions and just fucking dropped Pete Dunne with a right hand. Big time punch to the face. So I'm sitting there watching this. This match concept is just stupid because what's going on here is once somebody brings down the crowbar, once somebody introduces the crowbar, retrieves the crowbar and introduces it to the match, then the crowbar becomes a legal weapon. But also either guy could use the crowbar. So it's not like, what's the incentive for the guy pulling it down? Is it just to be the first person in possession of the crowbar? I don't know. I don't know. So this is just, ugh. Pete Dunne, he wrestles that nice, tight British style that, looks like a close simulation of sport. Tony D'Angelo, he's got some amateur background, and it kind of shows in his movements and stuff, and he does some nice looking suplexes and throws. So eventually Tony D'Angelo retrieved the crowbar, and he handled the crowbar like no one ever would if they were trying to hit somebody with it. Like Pete Dunne's over here and Tony D'Angelo swinging this way. It just looked, as soon as the crowbar was introduced, this thing just looked. So eventually Pete Dunne came into possession of the crowbar, and then he handled it like no one ever would if they were trying to hit someone. So just like as soon as they introduced the crowbar, it was a buzzkill because now they're having to do a bunch of phony looking shit with the crowbar. It's just like, whatever. As soon as the crowbar got introduced, it was just like, this is, shit. Like, it just looked fake and sloppy. It's like, okay, well, he obviously wasn't trying to hit the guy. It just looked bizarre. The finish saw Tony D'Angelo just fucking clock Pete Dunne in the face with the crowbar, and Pete Dunne felt like the fucking life force left his body. He just fucking just went limp and just crumbled. It was a nice looking fall, and Tony D'Angelo pinned him 1, 2, 3. So something tells me this is going to continue, the Tony D'Angelo Pete Dunne saga or whatever. After that, we cut backstage for an interview with Grayson Wallaby. This was conducted by Mackenzie Mitchell. Grayson Wallaby said a bunch of shit, and he ended by saying tonight, when he's in with AJ Styles, he's going to create another Grayson Wallaby moment, or whatever the fuck. It's the Grayson Wallaby effect or some shit. I don't know. After that, in passing, we cut to a shot of Persia Perota and Indy Hartwell with Wendy Choo. They're all in a locker room. Persia Perota was having to go with a resistance band, and Indy Hartwell was applying some tape. You know, they're getting ready for the match later tonight. Meanwhile, Wendy Choo is asleep on the bench. Then she wakes up, stretches, then she does 2 squats, right? She does 2 squats, then she stretches some more, and she grabbed her oversized pillow, smiled, and walked off. Persia and Indy just looked at each other like, just in confusion, like, what the fuck have we gotten ourselves into? And then we go to a break. Toasty. When we come back from the break, there was another Mandy Rose photo shoot. It's just like, this is a weird, they're just like, oh, photo shoot. She's in a bikini. Tits, vagina, ass, hips. Just, is she a wrestler or a bikini model? Like, what's... I just... So, this time they were in a studio setting. She talked up Toxic Attraction, and there was a voiceover from Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. And they just said a bunch of shit. Brain went into autopilot, and I just fucking coasted through all this and didn't really remember a single word. After that, we're back in the arena. Persia Perota and Indy Hartwell are in the middle of the ring, and Wendy Choo, the NXT squatter, Wendy Choo, is making her she's making her way to where she's coming down to the ring. Wendy Choo was wearing her pajamas, and her sleep mask was pulled up over her forehead. She's carrying her fucking oversized pillow and her big gulp cup from 7-Eleven. And she makes it her way to the side of the ring, and she lays her pillow on the apron underneath the bottom rope. And then she hops up onto the apron. So she's laying parallel with the apron, and she's leaning her armpit on the bottom rope and just about to go to sleep. She appeared as if she was going to slip into a deep sleep, but Persia and Indy are all, hey, whoa, we're fixing to have a match. What do you do? They're clapping their hands and shouting at her. And she eventually got up and got in the ring and, was trying to look like a functioning member of the team. Wade Barrett said to Vic Joseph on commentary, "Oh, I gotta ask you, what the hell is this?" just straight up, like, what the hell is this? And Vic Joseph responded, "I was gonna ask you the same thing." It's just like, I like that the announcers are going, "Fuck's going on here," instead of, "Oh yeah," and just trying to sell you that, look, this Wendy Choo's bullshit, and they're not playing into the, like, AEW. This is another thing. AEW will, oftentimes they will play into the bullshit when you're seeing bullshit happen. They'll just play into the bullshit instead of being like, "The hell? That doesn't make sense. What's this about?" And if somebody does that, usually it's JR that just goes, "The fuck?" Like a few weeks ago on Dynamite when the lights went out and Malachi Black was standing in the entrance tunnel and fucking Excalibur goes, "Oh, he appeared out of thin air." And it's like, no, the fuck he didn't. Like, a credible announcer would have been like, would have said nothing, or would have said, "Malachi Black is out here," not, "Oh, he appeared out of thin air." Nobody believes that. Nobody fucking believes that. So here the announcers are maintaining their credibility by acknowledging that Wendy Choo's weird for just seemingly just falling asleep randomly or whatever this is. So instead of playing into it, they're acknowledging, "Oh, this is weird and bizarre." So that's the rational thing to do. So that makes sense, and I appreciate it. So next, Amari Miller, Casey Catanzaro, and Caden Carter, they were out, quote, dancing their way to the ring, except nobody was dancing. Just what a weird... Anyway, the bell rings and the match gets underway. And off rip, Wendy Choo she's back laying parallel along the apron. She's resting her head on the oversized pillow. Apparently, she's already nodding off. So then I'm sitting here, I'm watching this. I'm focused, right? I'm watching this. The most bizarre sequence of events transpired, and it almost fractured my fucking cerebellum, right? The camera cuts back, and you see the referee walk over to Wendy Choo and inform her that she needs to hold the tag rope. So she did. I would like to direct your attention to the VENUM-tron. I hope this is coming through clear. Here you have Wendy Choo laying on the apron, head on her fucking oversized pillow, holding the tag rope. What's going on? Let's see if we could enhance that. All right, brought that in a little bit. So Indy Hartwell is in the ring trying to wrestle. Meanwhile, Wendy Choo is a legal competitor in this match, laying on the fucking apron with one hand holding the tag rope, because them's the rules. Them's the rules. So this was just like, I'm sitting there watching this thing, laughing my fucking ass off. Let's get the officially licensed video wall, VENUM video wall, back online. So that was bizarre. Fucking Vic Joseph asked, they were just doing like their normal string of commentary. 6-man tag match we got going on here. And then Vic Joseph goes, "Oh, is Wendy Choo asleep?" And Wade Barrett responded, "I'm going to guess at this point she must have narcolepsy." So there's just like trying to... this is bizarre. This was so funny. I enjoyed this. This was good. a good mix of comedy while they still had a legitimate match, and the announcers played it straight. So this all the I don't know. She could legitimately just be some chick with narcolepsy. We don't know. It's not some unbelievably outlaw person just sticking their hands in their pockets just to be a goof on purpose, right? So, partway through this match, we were shown representatives from the law offices of Briggs and Jensen, or Twigs and Henson, or whatever the fuck. They were watching the match backstage in the most unnatural looking position ever. Okay, so they're watching the match on this monitor, right? And their bodies were facing this way, and they're watching like this. You see how silly that looks? If I'm gonna watch that TV, I would at least be positioned like this. What I would not be doing is facing my body this way because there's a camera right there and having my head turned like that. Look how ridiculous that looks. Oh, I'm watching the video wall. Like, no, it's fucking ridiculous. So their staging is, and this is one of the things when guys do interviews and backstage promos and stuff with the WWN, the World Wrestling Network. When I'm the one producing those segments, I purposely don't have people stand in any kind of weird staging because it's outlaw. Like, to some extent, when you're doing TV, there's certain rules, but it's just there's no reason to have just this weird staging that no one would do if this was in any way a real thing. So, I stage my little backstage interviews. I have people just standing like they would be doing in real life, and the camera is always articulating to capture whoever's speaking or whoever's supposed to have a reaction. The camera just moves instead of just having everybody standing in a row directly facing the camera, because that's lazy. It's fucking lazy. It's lazy and it looks unnatural. So this is one of those things where WWE just throws in the towel and says, we're producing movies here. And then their fucking shoots look like complete horseshit. So whatever. Maybe you've all had it right. So what the fuck? The camera cuts back in the arena, and I'm swearing to God to you, Wendy Choo is now sleeping on the top rope with her head resting on the turnbuckle pad. So she started from the bottom, now she's here. And it's like, Wade Barrett said on commentary again, not again, but around this time, he said on commentary about Wendy Choo, he says, she ain't pulling her weight, is she? Let's be honest. So eventually, Wendy Choo is kneeling on the apron, sipping out of her there's a straw in it, so she's sipping out of her big gulp cup. Maybe she had it in this hand, holding the tag rope. Right? So Wendy Choo, she's kneeling on the apron, sipping out of her big gulp cup. Other hand is holding the tag rope. And then one of either Indy or Persia made the tag. She set the cup down somewhere, stood up straight, accepted the tag. So she accepts the tag and hops in and just starts wrestling her ass off. The first thing she does, Amari Miller throws a clothesline, and Wendy Choo does and leans back, and Amari Miller misses with the clothesline. So she does a I'm tired stretch as like a Matrix dodge. And then she just starts throwing hands, kicks. She's doing cartwheels and suplexing bitches. And then that led to a sequence where all 6 women are wearing, just hitting each other with big moves. And then the camera showed Wendy Choo, and she's just everybody's down, and Wendy Choo's just laying in the middle of the fucking ring. She's, got her legs to one side, and, she's got her arm, and she just looks at the camera, and she takes off, and she's gonna sleep in the middle of the ring. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. What is going on? What is going on? Eventually, she tagged out to Persia Perota, Wendy Choo did. And Persia and Indy did a tag combo, and Indy pinned whoever the fuck to win the match. So your winners, Persia, Indy, and Wendy Choo. So, very entertaining debut for Wendy Choo, if I must say so myself. This is one of those things that you could immediately just look at and go, oh, well, that's fucking outlaw. That's stupid. But if you break it down, it's not really. Besides the fact that she's out there in pajamas instead of wrestling gear, that's the only thing I'd mark her off for. She might legitimately be a woman with narcolepsy. Besides that, she played everything else by the book. She was holding the tag rope the whole time, which is something they don't even fucking do on Monday Night Raw or AEW Dynamite. But here, they're following the fucking rules because there are rules. There are rules to this shit. So you can't really classify this as outlaw, but her shtick is still entertaining and funny. So she got away with it, and she made me laugh, and that's, I guess at the end of the day, that's all that matters. After that, we're shown MSK, and as soon as they were on screen, I was just like, oh my God, like, just end it. Just end it. I just don't care to see these two fucks. So MSK happened upon the Dusty Cup, which is apparently just kept in the back of some warehouse. They were just in the back of some fucking warehouse setting. They said some uninteresting shit. Then Dakota Kai walked in and just bleh, I don't care. Next, Solo Sikoa Uso was cutting a promo. He was talking directly to camera while he was taping up his wrist and his hand for his match upcoming with Boa. After that, this crazy bitch, Kaylee Ray, 3 words, Kaylee Ray, she wandered into that studio where Mandy Rose had been doing that promotional photo shoot earlier. And Kaylee Ray, she has a green baseball bat. Unless I'm mistaken, didn't she give that bat to Cora Jade or somebody else like 3 weeks ago? She gave it to Cora Jade or somebody and said, oh, you'll need this more than I will. And she walked off. Now she's got the bat again, so this doesn't make sense. Anyway, she's looking for Mandy Rose, and somebody off screen informs her that, oh, Mandy Rose is gone. She's done. The photo shoot is over. She's not here anymore. And Kaylee Ray just proceeded to attack and destroy the photography equipment, the umbrella lighting stands, and the fucking paper backdrop. And eventually she smashed the camera. And I'm just sitting here like, what an awful bitch. As a fellow photographer and videographer, this was offensive to just watch her senselessly destroy all that expensive photography equipment for no reason. The equipment didn't do anything to that fucking dumb bitch. Like, I don't... So this lost points with me. I'm looking forward to seeing Mandy Rose kick Kaylee Ray's ass. Dumb cunt. So after she beat up inanimate objects, then she proceeded to try to walk off as if she didn't know where the exit was. She's like walking over here and then changing directions like she's unaware how to exit the fucking room. Just horrible, horrible. So I know I'm not a fan of Kaylee Ray. This up until now I've been neutral. This puts me in the negative. I'm negative on her because she's destroying expensive equipment for no fucking reason because she's fucking mental. So that was horrible. Back in the ring, Boa and Solo Sikoa are just in ring, and the referee rings the bell, and the match starts. So no nothing. They didn't even throw up lower thirds or nothing. Just two people in the ring. Ding, ding, ding. So if this was your first time watching, what the fuck is going on? No entrances, no lower thirds, no introduction of any kind. Just we cut back to a shot of the ring. Two people are in the ring, and the ref just immediately rings the bell. What? Like, that's how we're handling business? So at this moment, I consulted my terrorist do not watch list. I looked up the BOA rule, and Section 7G states, and I quote, I ain't watching this shit. I ain't watching this shit. It's a fast fucking forward. The match ended in a count out. Who gives a fuck? Next. AJ Styles had an interview with Mackenzie Mitchell. He was saying some stuff, something about Georgia Bulldogs. I guess he was talking about the match upcoming with him and Grayson Waller for the main event. I'm not sure what all AJ said. He was just talking in a down south slang. So after that, they showed a video package recap of Carmelo Hayes unifying the NXT North American and Cruiserweight titles. Then we cut to a live shot of the parking lot where Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams pulled up in a drop-top Bentley coupe. They hopped out and walked into the Capitol Wrestling Closet, the CWC. And Carmelo hands the security guard at the door, hands his keys, and says, keep it running, we'll be right back. And the security guard sticks the keys in his pockets and just starts looking off as if like he was just looking anywhere but except where the camera was. He was just like it doesn't matter where he looked, just don't look at the camera. He was just bugging out. He looked weird as fuck. And he was in the worst shape of anyone I've ever seen in my life. He just like he was a larger person, but like down here it was just like pow! It was just like, oh! He looked like a trash bag filled with mango pulp. It was just like, come on, guy. Just like, fuck. It ain't gonna kill you to do a little bit of walking or hop on a treadmill or something. It was just like, god damn. How do you let it get so bad? So what happened? We cut to... Yeah, okay, I see. We cut to a shot of Boa and Solo Sikoa. They were still brawling backstage. Fast forwarding continues. So back in the arena, Vic Joseph just arbitrarily mentioned, oh, Von Wagner's suspension has been lifted and his fine has been paid. So that lasted, what, 30 minutes? What the fuck? Could we not save this at least till next week? Like, what in the... So that's already... They've already thrown that away. And the only thing I could assume is that Robert Stone has paid Von Wagner's fine. If it wasn't him, then I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know how else to explain what the fuck's going on. So after that, camera cuts to the ring. Good old Samantha Irvin, or whatever the fuck her name is, she's in the ring. She introduced the unified North American champion, Carmelo Hayes, and Trick Williams. And Hayes and Williams come out, and apparently they've done exactly what I hoped they would do. That awful looking cruiserweight title belt with the purple fucking that shit was nowhere to be seen, and no one ever mentioned it. And that's exactly what I was hoping it would happen. Just a god awful belt design. One of the worst things I've ever seen. That belt design. So Hayes and Williams made their way to the ring. I've written here, these two are hotter than a blowtorch inside of a microwave on the planet Mercury. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. For the two people who are going to watch this and go, why Mercury? Why the planet Mercury? There's so many idiots in this world, and I'm not the most intelligent person, but so Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams did a little piece where they poured one out for the home, they poured one out for Roddy's career, which is apparently over. We're going to see him in 2 weeks on AEW Dynamite. So he literally had a bottle of some kind in a brown paper bag, and then he poured out, but nothing poured out, so it was just an empty bottle. So I'm not sure. They were just going through the motions here. There was nothing inside the actual bottle. So then he says, "Oh, rest in piss to the homie." Carmelo Hayes talked himself up, and he's charismatic and engaging. And he's basically just kind of doing the same thing 2Ks did, just kind of like shouting out the locker room. You can step up, and you're gonna get stepped on, and that's the way it is, and that's the way it's always gonna be, or whatever he said. Suddenly, oh damn, I want none. The AJ Styles comes. He just starts making his entrance as Hayes and Williams were patting themselves on the back in the ring. AJ Styles just walks out, and Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams meets him on the entrance ramp. They're all kind of shouting stuff at AJ Styles, and AJ Styles just walked past them and just ignored them like they weren't even there. So AJ gets in the ring, and we cut to a break. When we come back from the break, Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams are making their exit from the Capitol Wrestling Closet, the CWC. And Carmelo asks the security guard, hey, he asked him for his car keys. And the fucking security guard's all like, man, I ain't got your keys. What? He just handed you the keys moments ago. No, I ain't got you. Man, I ain't got your keys. Suddenly, someone's making noise off screen. The camera pans to reveal Cameron Grimes. He's leaning up against the drop-top Bentley coupe, shaking the car keys. He's got the car keys in his hands. And Cameron Grimes says, "You looking for some keys, Mello? You're looking for some keys, Mello?" So Cameron Grimes says, last year I'd have been, doing donuts in this thing in the parking lot or whatever, but in 2022, I'm coming for that gold you got right there. And then it's to the moon or whatever the fuck. So Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams are, as I mentioned, they're hot as mercury, and Cameron Grimes is going to the moon. So this episode is just astronomy as fuck, right? It's a whole lot of astronomy in this episode. So that was the end of the segment. Next, they flashed a graphic that said the Dusty Tag Team Classic first round starts next week for the men's, because there's a men's and a women's. The men's first round is starting next week. So after that, we're back in the arena. Grayson Wallaby made his entrance. Grayson Wallaby comes out. This is gonna be the main event, right? So before the match got started, I noticed that they don't even make an effort to announce people anymore. What the fuck is this? It's just Grayson Wallaby comes out and it's just the announcer just says, and his opponent, Grayson Waller. No weight, no hometown, no nickname, no moniker, just here's this person. I'm thinking, what the fuck? It used to be making his way to the ring from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 217 pounds, the phenomenal AJ Styles. Make these people feel like something. What the fuck is... And his opponent, this guy over here, just have some fucking passion and energy. What is... So that... I noticed that and I was just like, how long have they been doing that? Is that this new chick? Is this is her shtick? Samantha Irvin or whatever? If so, we need a... No, let's not do that. That's... That's how you do an intro. For some reason now it's just like, I don't know. Hey Vince, we're running out of budget. No more intros, no more fucking hometowns. Fire William Regal. Bring me my egg. $100 million egg. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. Egg. Premium live event. Bring me an egg. I don't know. I don't know what goes on backstage. So the match got started. With some brief jaw-jacking. Then Grayson Wallaby kind of played this thing in the beginning with some mind games. He's kind of poking the bear and drawing AJ Styles in, then breaking the ropes so the referee will back him off and all this kind of just cheap annoying shit. The crowd was chanting just straight. Like for the first 2 minutes of this, they were just chanting straight the whole time. They never let up. They were just chanting the whole first 2 minutes of it. It felt like probably a little bit longer. They were oddly split 85% in favor of AJ Styles, and then this weird 15% that were chanting for Grayson Wallaby. So it's like 85% AJ Styles, 15% Grayson Waller. It's like, who are those? Like, who are those people? So here's stating the obvious. AJ Styles is really fucking good, isn't he? He's really fucking good. This match went through one picture-in-picture break. I mean, these two guys had a nice competitive match. I knew they would. AJ Styles involved, and Grayson Waller isn't bad. I still don't I still don't get Grayson Wallaby. Based on everything I've seen, like in my opinion, he's fine. He's fine. I'd rate him slightly above average. He's slightly above mid. Wallaby is competent on the mic, but not standout. And the same applies for his in-ring ability or his in-ring presentation. It's all competent. It's all executed well, but it's just not really standout. Doesn't really grab your attention. So I'm still just kind of middle of the road on Grayson Waller, despite what seems to be this huge push to, Grayson Waller everywhere, Grayson Waller. And it's like, yeah, I'd get it if that was Carmelo Hayes, but I'm not really feeling him. If you look closely, you'll notice that AJ Styles both has a dad bod and a soccer mom haircut. So he's, in terms of appearance, he's the total package. He's got the dad bod going and the soccer mom haircut. So AJ Styles won this match. He won this thing with a phenomenal forearm. And earlier in the match, AJ Styles kicked out of what I think is Grayson Waller's finisher. He does this move where he's standing on the outside of the ring and he hops over the bottom rope, does a forward roll, and then pops up into a stunner. I think that's Grayson Waller's finisher. I'm not sure, but that's the move he used to put away Odyssey Jones a week or two ago. So he did that move, and AJ Styles kicked out. So that was kind of weird. If the second time I see the guy do the move, AJ Styles is kicking out of it. So whatever. Post-match, AJ Styles kind of gave Grayson Waller a backhanded compliment for his efforts. Then he says, Your night ain't done. Your night's not over. I want to introduce you to one of my friends." And the music starts playing. It's LA Knight. LA Knight comes out. LA Knight, the former Eli Drake. LA Knight comes out. The last time we saw LA Knight, he was presumably attacked in the parking lot and left for dead, while Grayson Wallaby committed Grand Theft Auto and possibly kidnapped a woman in LA Knight's red Corvette. So he Grand Theft Auto'd LA Knight's Corvette, and there was some woman sitting there that looked like she was there against her will. So so that happened. I think that's 2 kidnappings I've seen since I've been watching this Grayson Waller kidnapped somebody, and then Harland kidnapped that Chase University student. So this is, I guess this is a kidnap positive environment over here NXT's got going on. Just hello. You are not free to kidnap. So LA Knight, he came out. He was full of piss and vinegar. He beat Grayson Wallaby from pillar to post and fucking sent Grayson Waller slinking off with his fucking tail between his legs. And then LA Knight just celebrated as the show went off air. So it looks to me like possibly the main event scene is going to kind of rotate around 2K's Braun Breaker and Legado del Fantasma. That might be the next direction. And then you got the North American, the unified North American title scene. Looks like the direction is Carmelo Hayes and Cameron Grimes, which is actually, that sounds like an intriguing prospect. From what I've seen, those 2 guys could go. It'll be some good matches, and they could both talk on the mic. So as long as the storyline isn't horseshit, then that should be entertaining. How can we forget about Wendy Choo? Wendy Choo, how about you? Wendy Choo came out the fucking beat, jumping like a jumping jack, and you know Wendy Choo, when she get in that ring, she could have a heart attack. So I gotta stay tuned just to see what the fuck Wendy Choo's gonna do next. Is she just gonna be arbitrarily sleeping somewhere next week? I'll have to tune in to see. The NXT women's tag team division has been virtually non-existent. The champions, Toxic Attraction, haven't been there for forever. I'm really not interested in anything going on with Mandy Rose. She's just a bit of a diva, isn't she? She's not giving me modern day women's professional wrestler. She's just giving me late era diva, which is not what anyone wants to see anymore. Yeah, overall, an above average show. I really enjoyed it. Fucking as soon as I decided to just skip over anything involving Boa, that was a great decision. Good for my mental health. Thumbs up decision. So NXT 2.0. Double thumbs up. Another good show. And that was that. That was all she wrote. That was the show. NXT 2.0 from January 11th, 2022. So that was the end of that show. Now this is the end of this show. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Click that bell to enable notifications. It's the only way to be notified when a new video is uploaded. That's all I got for you. That's all I got for you on this episode. Right now, I'd like to bid y'all adieu. And until next time, I'm D'Lo Jordan. And this right here, this is VENUM.